uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of it all with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very, very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
If you have concerns about your drinking water, just call Bryant. If your water doesn't look right, smell right, or taste right, Bryant can help. If your water has high levels of iron, Bryant can help. If you're tired of foggy dishes and dingy clothes, Bryant can help. Whatever your home water needs are, Bryant is here with a solution to fit your needs. Be sure about your water. Just call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer, and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the Shuffleboard Corner. Come on Sundays for Open House League all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m., and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Our sense of smell can tell us a lot. Fresh-baked apple pie, good. Cigarette smoke, bad. But what happens when bad things smell good? When secondhand vape smells like strawberries, or mangoes, or cotton candy, and dangerous chemicals have a disguise? That's when people let their guard down around secondhand smoke, even though it's all full of harmful chemicals.
Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association on this station.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. He's going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome to it on a Friday. A couple hundred miles apart. I'm in Lincoln. Stricky is in Boulder. Getting ready for Huskers and Colorado. We'll have plenty of Huskers and Buffs talk, don't you worry. But we got to get you set for a full weekend of college football and NFL football. It's back. It's in full swing. Full college weekend, full NFL weekend. The only other way to make a full weekend even better is to make yourself feel full with a great meal from Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Check them out at 27th, 29th, and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. Again, great way to celebrate a win. Great way to forget a loss, knock yourself out, take a nice nap after enjoying some Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Stricky, you're awake. How you doing? How's the flight? How's Boulder?
The flight was good, rested good. It is an absolute beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. The breeze, the weather. Just take it in, fresh air, man. It's good. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow as well. Going to head out to Blur, probably catch up with Jay and the guys soon, and get to hang out with an old high school buddy, Sasha Shepard, as well. So it's good. It's going to be a nice little time.
It wasn't a nice little time for the Kansas City Chiefs last night. They only put up 20 points in week one. The young upstart Detroit Lion Cubs storm into Arrowhead Stadium. They walk out with a win. Strick, the big story last night was Kadarius Toney, just how bad he was. But despite that, despite Travis Kelce being out, despite Chris Jones watching the game from a suite so he could be there for the banner raising but not actually playing, the Chiefs had every opportunity to win this game. They didn't convert a third down in the second half. Mahomes' 4th and 25 miracle pass, hit Sky Moore in the hands. He couldn't haul it in. And some really questionable decisions from Andy Reid. Despite everything that went wrong, Kansas City had a chance to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, that was some of the things we talked about. We expected them to possibly have some difficulty without their chain mover. Their chain mover is Kelce. Like, it's not necessarily all the big plays, but it's the moving of the chains. Like you said, lack of getting third down completions throughout the game hurt the team. And the same thing of just not being able to just get it done, the big interception, the big return, those things meant the difference of this game. But at the same time, you've got to give the Detroit Lions credit. I mean, they're a team that beat the reigning Super Bowl champions and ended the second longest active winless streak in season openers. Right. Mm-hmm. So that was big just for the organization as a whole. It's like taking a new step. This is the same step that we're hoping that the Huskers were able to make against Minnesota. But I think Denver, I said it earlier, man. I said Detroit is a team that you've got to watch out for. They're not what you expected. I think, if I remember correctly, the last 5 weeks of the NFL season last year, the Detroit Lions covered. I bet them. When we were doing, the games and stuff with Rico and them, I would bet the Lions to cover because they're going to be a fighting group, and that's what they've been, and that's what they showed in this game. Great resilience. You're getting to see guys like Ahmad. I'm sorry, not Ahmad. I'm sorry.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're getting to see guys like that just emerge. I hate when I stutter on the names like that. It kills me. But, yeah, you get to see guys like that just kind of make plays, step up. Goff is doing what he does on the regular basis, is just taking care of the ball. I mean, I think it's like 349 or so pass attempts that he's made without throwing an interception. So those things are phenomenal. That's it. It's the third longest NFL history, 359 consecutive passes. Now count that, 359 consecutive passes without an interception. That means he's going to take care of the ball. He's going to give them a chance to win games because he's he's hitting the right targets, and when he's not missing so badly that it's going to cost the team.
Absolutely. So Detroit, huge springboard win for them, getting those streaks, taken care of. They capitalize on some of those miscues from the Chiefs. And I think that's what good teams do, right? They have that kind of arrival moment. We've seen the Chiefs back themselves into corners before, find ways out of it. Detroit didn't let them, right? There are moments the Chiefs could have, but Detroit holds on. You tip your cap to them for that. The flip side of this, though, Strick, is seeing what I did on Twitter from the fans and the accounts I follow, the friends I've talked to about this game. They're absolutely despondent. They're like, this is a wreck. This is terrible. We saw this coming a mile away. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't good for the Chiefs, but it's week 1 against an out-of-conference opponent, down your 2 best players, right? If you're going to lose a game, you'd rather lose this one than Jacksonville, who I think wins the South, who's going to be in contention for a first-round bye or hosting in the first round at the very least. And it's a conference game, so it means more when it comes to tiebreakers. I think the Chiefs are going to look back at this one in January and laugh. And I'm sure it's disappointing, but the sky's not falling for them. They still have Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be fine, right?
Yeah, I mean, we said it, though. We said this was just really, even win or lose, this was an opportunity for other players to step up. We were hoping a guy like Kadarius Toney would do so, but ends up being the one where the ball was deflected and intercepted, therefore returned for a touchdown. He happened to be part of that. But other than that, I mean, they were hoping to see some things like Rashee Rice, made a play or two. You're hoping that a guy like Marquez Valdez-Scantling would also step forward. But guys like Justin Watson, they're just hoping for somebody else to pop out of there. And so we'll see, if this continues on. But I think it's just a good lesson. It's something that they can grow and learn from. And they're going to have growing pains until they figure out what's going to happen with Kelsey. It's just going to be what it is. It's the same thing that's going to be on the defensive side. When you need a stop or when you need a big play, usually guys like Jones on the team, Chandler Jones. So, guys like that are the ones that would normally step up. But Chris Jones. Good gosh, I keep forgetting. Chris Jones is one of those type of guys that will make plays when it comes down to it at the end of the game. And they just didn't have it this game. And that's okay. I think you're right. I don't think this is something that's they started off bad before and they've recovered and end up making long runs into the playoffs. So they got the same chance to do that.
To your point, someone has to step up at some point in that receiving core, even when Kelsey does come back. The defense was fine. The defense only gave up 14 points with Chris Jones gone. But that's a question I want to pose to you, Strick, as we wrap up this segment. Chris Jones sitting there watching this game from the suite, seeing it play out the way it did. Does the result give Chris Jones more leverage, less leverage, or does it not really change anything?
I would say it doesn't too much change anything because of the fact that the defense did perform. They played well. I think he could look at it from a standpoint of approach it from a standpoint of leverage of that we could have been better. We could have actually shut them down even more. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, I don't think it moves the needle.
I think he points to the end of the game and says, I don't let them run for that game-sealing first down. I find a way to get a sack and make them punt from further back. But I think the Chiefs say, look what we did the first 58 and a half minutes, right? We allowed 14 points without you there. So I think both sides can use this game and point to different examples, which is why I'm with you. I don't think it moves the needle all that much. We'll dive back into the NFL, give some of our better week 1 matchups that we're going to be watching here at the end of the hour. Busy college football weekend, though. There's a lot of interesting games on, including one tonight just down the road in Lawrence, Kansas. This next segment will run you through the full slate of college football games, what to be watching this weekend when you're not watching Nebraska-Colorado on Saturday. He's Eric Strickland in Boulder. I'm Austin Norman here in Lincoln. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hot tub season is here, and to celebrate, Bonsall Pool & Spa is having a Labor Day sale so good that they're offering it for the whole week. Purchase a new High Life Collection or Limelight Collection spa and receive a free step and cover lifter from now until September 11th. Stock will go fast, so hurry in and claim your new spa today. It's the Labor Day sale from September 1st through the 11th at Bonsall Pool & Spa at 33rd and Highway 2 or at bonsallpool.com. Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting up September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Career Days will provide you with a hands-on experience as you learn alongside SCC faculty and students and industry partners. Explore careers in healthcare, construction, ag, automotive, manufacturing, engineering, power sports, transportation, or technology. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. I'm Matt Knipe with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand that no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Our sense of smell can tell us a lot. Fresh baked apple pie, good. Cigarette smoke, bad. But what happens when bad things smell good? When secondhand vape smells like strawberries or mangoes or cotton candy and dangerous chemicals have a disguise? That's when people let their guard down around secondhand smoke. even though it's all full of harmful chemicals.
Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Block, Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. If you have any thoughts on any of these games here that we're going to be talking about, let us know who you think wins. If there's a game we miss here in college football, let us know. All right, Strick, first game of the weekend that I'm watching is actually tonight, and I'm glad it's tonight because I think it would have gotten kind of caught up in the wash if it's played tomorrow. The first game that I'm going to be watching is Illinois at Kansas. Illinois squeaked by Toledo last week. Kansas handled Missouri State with very few issues. And that's without Jalen Daniels, really the breakout star of last season for Kansas. When this game was scheduled, back at almost a decade ago, probably, it was two doormats. Illinois was nobody. Kansas hadn't been anybody in football in, a decade before that. But now these are two programs kind of on the rise, right? Illinois is a solid, seems like it has a foundation of being a bowl team. Kansas with Coach Lance Leipold is one that I don't know how much noise they can make in the Big 12, but they won't be the doormat. They won't be getting run over every year, I feel confident in saying. It's awesome that a game like this has risen to the point where it can be a primetime Friday night showdown. Obviously, as a Nebraska guy, there's not too much love lost for either one of those schools, but as just a general football fan, it's impressive to see what Brett Bielema and Lance Leipold have done with those programs to get them to a stage like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's two good coaches. They're two good coaches. They're working hard in their programs. They've done some things to help their programs to become better. It's a surprise when you look at the Kansas situation, that some of the talk that goes around it, but it's going to be an interesting game. I like the matchup. I think they're very equally matched up, to be honest. It's an equal matchup, to be honest.
Jalen Daniels comes back off of injury. Tough first test against a still pretty solid Illinois defense. I think that he can have some success, but I would have liked him to have, a week to ease into things in the non-conference before you play a game like this. Let's move on to Saturday. Just a few games to mention. I know people won't be flipping into most of these because they're at the same time as Nebraska-Colorado. You've got Utah going on the road to Baylor. They go to the Swamp in Gainesville last year, lose a heartbreaker, kind of derails their college football playoff hopes. Curious to see how Baylor looks coming off the upset at the hands of Texas State. Troy at Kansas State, sneaky under the radar. Strick, we've seen Troy come into these Midwest towns, bring speed, bring athleticism, and upset teams before. Do you think Kansas State needs to be worried, or do you think Chris Kleiman has his team solid enough that Troy will be just another game for them?
Yeah, I think so. I think Kansas State is a good team. They're solid across the board. I hate that obviously my bias guy of Keegan Johnson's not playing, but that's all good. And I still think they'll handle Troy pretty well. Yes, the Baylor's not very good, but they do have some good things that are happening for them. To be an example, senior Drake Dabney, the tight end there at Baylor, had 6 receptions for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a good sign for them. Whether he's a senior, he's playing very well for them. He's going to help them, to maybe stay in it. They may put a focus on him, but this Baylor team is not as good as the old of the Baylor teams of old. So Utah's very physical. They're going to come in, and I think they'll handle business down there in Baylor.
We'll talk a little bit more about Purdue and Virginia Tech with Andrew Alex in about an hour here on our Allo VIP line. Notre Dame at NC State. Dave Doran at NC State was a guy that was kind of rumored for the Nebraska job. His name was floated out there. Notre Dame takes care of business in week 1. That, again, is the 11 o'clock slate. The afternoon slate, so after Nebraska-Colorado, your 2:30 Central kickoffs, there are really 3 games that stand out to me. Iowa and Iowa State, you just have to monitor. It's Iowa. It's former conference rival Iowa State in that matchup. The 2 games down south, though, Strick. Let's start with Ole Miss at Tulane.
Yeah, that was what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, Tulane, the darlings of last year. Michael Pratt at quarterback. They're ranked in the top 25. Ole Miss at number 20 as well. 2 original SEC teams. Yeah, Tulane was in the SEC when it first got founded. This, to me, is a chance for Tulane to really do what Cincinnati did. I'm not saying Tulane climbs into that college football playoff discussion, but to have a good year and then find a way to get that statement win the year after that to prove that, hey, we're legit, we're here to stay.
especially playing against an SEC team, regardless of who the SEC team. Ole Miss is ranked 20th in the country. SEC teams they're gonna be very strong. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna get after you. You're gonna have some speed. This is gonna happen down in Ullman Stadium. Ullman Stadium opened in 2014. Holds about 30,000 folks. It's kind of got an old English, the old English style soccer flow to it in an old historic area where Tulane plays. And this is the first time that Ullman Stadium is going to host a ranked SEC team. And it's going to be rocking. It's going to be rocking down there. They're going to be up for it. The players, as long as they can avoid the adrenaline dump and just kind of still just stay within their game and continue to play their game, hopefully we'll see a good one down there at Ullman Stadium.
I think I like Ole Miss to pull that one out, but don't be surprised if it's close into the fourth quarter. I do think there's some staying power in Tulane. Let's go to the Hot Seat Bowl, Strick, an SEC-ACC matchup taking place in Coral Gables. You have number 23 Texas A&M taking on Miami. I was decently impressed with A&M's offense. That's been the bugaboo. The weird kind of arranged marriage between Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino paid dividends with 52 points in week 1. A&M won this game 17-9 last year, but it's going to be in Miami this time. What do you think of this matchup?
Well, yeah, definitely. The Miami Hurricanes are looking to make a statement, and what better way to do it than to do it at your home with a ranked opponent coming in town. The Aggies quarterback, Connor Wegman, he became the first Aggie to pass for 5 touchdowns in regulation since Johnny Manziel did it in 2013, where he finished with 18 of 23 for 236 yards. Just a basic solid game, got through it, finished it off. But the Miami Hurricanes feel they need a statement. I mean, and both teams need a win because Texas A&M, as you said, Jimbo Fisher is on the hot seat. He's definitely on the hot seat, and so he's going to need his team to play well going on the road. They're trying to make a statement as well. Obviously, they're in the tough SEC, and they're going to want to make sure that they don't lose a non-con with the type of schedule that they're going to have to take care of.
Who's this game bigger for, A&M or Miami?
I think it's equal. I really do. And I mean that because you're looking at a Miami Hurricanes team that have high expectations. They're looking to get back to former greatness. And you can make a statement right here at home. Start off 2-0 and taking on a ranked opponent, because obviously in the ACC you're going to be challenged by Florida State, and so you don't want to have any droppings of non-con games. You want to stay at a good place because you want to put yourself in a position to definitely have a January after New Year's bowl game. You want to try to do that. You can only really do that, especially in the ACC. You're gonna have to win it. You're not going to get a lot of deference in the ACC. It's just the strength of it is not as good. Obviously, Clemson, people feel Clemson is down. Miami's going to look at this as an opportunity to put themselves right up in the mix, and they feel they have to get this game. And so I think it's equally important for both parties.
Moving on to the late afternoon set of games. Nothing huge headlining here, but some interesting ones to watch. Appalachian State at North Carolina. That's interesting. Those two teams have played some shootouts recently. I think that should be an entertaining game. You have Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, an old basketball, Big East sort of battle. Should be knockout, black and blue type of game. Curious to see how Cincinnati continues to look under Scott Satterfield and Emory Jones, the Florida transfer there at quarterback. But here's a Nebraska tie to each of these teams. You have Ohio and Florida Atlantic. Frank Solich's former school after he gets booted from Nebraska. Casey Thompson's current school after he gets booted from Nebraska. The Bobcats and the Owls will play in Boca Raton tomorrow afternoon.
Stuff. I have one for you, though.
Lay it on me. What you got?
I have one for you. It'll be after the Huskers play. It'll be on ABC at 5:30. And it's the Wisconsin Badgers against the Washington State Cougars. That's one of the ones that I'm interested in putting my eyes on, because Washington State is a team that they beat this Wisconsin team, 17-14. So there's some revenge factor. But again, Wisconsin is trying to stay on par. They want to stay on par. Washington State, obviously, after suing, what do you have? You had Washington State and Oregon State. They both suing the Pac-12 now. So they're trying to make a statement that you kind of left us out here. So they're trying to do as much as they can to raise their bar. Also for those who are also looking for another addition to add somebody on. So they're trying to make a statement. They've got a home game against a ranked opponent. So they're looking at this as a chance for them to try to swoo a conference to pull them in. so this is a big game for them, especially on national TV on ABC.
I'm glad you brought that one up. It was on my list too. I mean, Washington State and Oregon State, I don't know if we'll have time to dive fully into this, but like you mentioned, suing Kliavkov in the Pac-12, they're basically doing look at us, we're the captain now. That's essentially their argument. They're saying they are, the board of directors. So this game means something to Washington State, like you said, to say, hey, we're not just a cast off. Hey, I know we haven't been good before. I know we're in the middle of nowhere, but look what we're building. There's a program here. To be able to go on the road, beat Wisconsin last year, to get them coming back to you this year with this much on the line. I still think Wisconsin's more talented. I didn't think they looked great against Buffalo in week 1. I think this would be a huge statement for Washington State to be able to make and say, hey, we're still here. You can't just, write us off and forget about us like that.
Exactly. That's the way. And I think Oregon State, and I think Pac-12 schools like them, even Stanford's going to have a shot at it too. So I really do feel that these games for those teams that are kind of feeling like they've been kind of just kicked to the curb, to them, it is so important to make these type of statements, especially in the non-con, and then especially with a national audience that is going to be watching. Because let's be real about it, most people don't get a chance to watch a lot of Pac-12 games just because of the time frames in which they go. You didn't wore yourself out all day. You didn't got hyped up from 11 o'clock to probably 7 something, 8 something. And then all of a sudden the Pac-12 game pops up at almost 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And you're just like, wait a minute, I'm wore out. And you kind of just tune it out. But certain situations, you have to look at these as a way to raise the bar for you to be able to become more visible to others.
A couple other games at night that I think will be interesting. I might not watch much of. Auburn at Cal, kind of a weird matchup. And then Oklahoma State, Arizona State. Oregon at Texas Tech lost a little luster after Texas Tech lost in double overtime to Wyoming, and Oregon just, beat the brakes off of Portland State. But the nightcap, the headliner, of the evening slate, Strick, is Texas, Alabama. Alabama somewhat lucky to escape Texas in Austin last year. Seemed like Texas put a lot of eggs in that basket. Bounced back okay after that loss. Kind of a wake-up for Alabama to realize what its flaws were last year. This game at Bryant-Denny in Tuscaloosa this year, under the lights. I'm excited for this one. I think Alabama wins this game. I'm curious to see how close Texas can keep it for how long.
I mean, it's a great opportunity, I think, for Alabama to test where they are. This is also a great show of what's to come in the SEC with Texas moving over and Oklahoma moving over and trying to it's kind of like two lions that come together and they're looking at each other to see who's going to control the tribe or the pride, as the lions would be called. So I think this is what this game poses early on in the season. I don't think a loss for either of them would destroy their opportunity, but definitely Alabama wants to keep on par with Georgia. You don't want to put yourself in a situation to where you lose a game like this in a non-con and you're fighting for an opportunity to get into the playoffs. You don't want to leave it up to anybody else. So you're at home. You have the Texas Longhorns. You pulled it out. You want to just continue to just step on somebody that's down and out and they're trying to rebuild themselves. They feel they've got the team to do it, but at the same time, you're Alabama and you got them coming into your home. You don't want to give up any inches or make them to even feel comfortable as if they can get this game at Bryant-Denny.
For sure. Couple things from the Starter Heyman text line to close out the segment here. C. Munden, I see your text. We'll get to that in the 3 o'clock hour. I think that's a big part of the discussion. Nebraska's week 1 opponent and TCU's week 1 opponent and how they looked. We'll get into Nebraska-Colorado. That's our first segment of the second hour. We're going to hit it hard. give you everything you need to know, predictions and whatnot. But Ryan in Nashville, if you didn't know what happened to Casey Thompson, we'll take the blame for that. I thought we had mentioned it a handful of times here, but if there are others like you that didn't know, Casey Thompson was not out of eligibility. He graduated. He's a graduate transfer, which is why he's immediately eligible at Florida Atlantic. I think we all have our opinions on what went down with this coaching staff, the former quarterback Casey Thompson and Jeff Sims. I think this new coaching staff identified Jeff Sims as a guy they really liked. I think part of it had to do with Matt Rule not really getting to choose his quarterback in Carolina, just having a bunch of guys handed to him. We've talked quite a bit, Strick, about how good we think Casey Thompson would have been for this team and this program in year one. But this coaching staff identified Jeff Sims, and that's the guy they seem to be riding with.
Yeah, it's kind of like they looked at Casey Thompson as like a Drew Brees or a Kenny Pickett. It's kind of like they looked at, just some of his measurables and just didn't feel that it was the fit that they wanted. They wanted more of an athletic. They wanted a younger. Obviously, you have more time with this quarterback to get him to where you hope he would be for you to, as you make transition into hopefully becoming a better program. And so I think that's kind of where they looked at it. I mean, graduate transfer, they wanted to give obviously the quarterbacks that they had there and the ones that they felt more comfortable with an opportunity and not have the room, so forth and so on. Looking at Casey Thompson, because Casey Thompson is a natural leader. He is a leader of a program. But I just think when your receiving core is not very strong, you need somebody that's going to be able to throw some dimes. And I think Casey Thompson has the ability to do that. And you saw that in week one for FAU.
You sure did. So wish Casey the best. He's at Florida Atlantic, and they take on Frank Solich's old school, Ohio. I think that's a 5:00 Central kickoff down in Boca Raton. Good stuff on college football. Again, we'll hit Huskers and Buffs at the top of the 3:00 hour. We started the show off with Chiefs and Lions. That's not it for the NFL weekend, though. It's a full-packed week one of NFL action. We just ran through the college games. We'll give you the NFL games we've got our eyes on to round out hour one of On the Block in just a sec.
Winning a new truck playing Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery changes a person. I used to drive around hills. Now I drive over them. I used to hate helping friends move. Now I can do it in one trip. I used to own my own tech company. Now I'm on the professional rodeo circuit. Actually, I'm going back to tech. Bulls are really mean, and I just don't look good in chaps.
Play Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
The Nebraska Lottery has given over $900 million back to our state since 1993. The proceeds have helped protect and improve Nebraska's environment, funded need-based scholarships for Nebraska students, and maintained and improved facilities at the state fair.
That's terrific. You should put that on your website.
It already is. Just click on beneficiaries in the menu.
Menu? You guys serve food too?
Maybe you should get off your feet for a while.
The Nebraska Lottery. 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952, Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly NATE certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Arnold's Tavern in Havelock is the place to be this summer and the best place in town for shuffleboard. Come on Wednesdays and learn from some of the best players in town for the shuffleboard corner. Come on Sundays for open house league all day starting at 11 a.m. and enjoy $3 tall boys and $3 wells. Shake off the start to the work week with karaoke on Monday nights. And don't forget, happy hour is every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and you are always welcome to bring in your own food. Arnold's Tavern in the heart of Havelock.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts. and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street legal cars come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Get all of your favorite restaurants delivered with VenueDelivered.com. One place for ordering delicious appetizers, refreshing salads, hot entrees, fresh sandwiches, and more. From Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, and all Lincoln Good Sense Subs locations. Download our phone app to earn rewards on all of your carryout and delivery orders. Available on Apple and Android, just search for the Pillar Restaurants app. That's the Pillar Restaurants app. Download today.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate and barbecue needs. Enjoy all natural, fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breast for just $1.99 per pound. USDA choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.99 per pound. And hickory smoked bacon for just $3.99 per 16-ounce package. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Career Days will provide you with a hands-on experience as you learn alongside SCC faculty and students and industry partners. Explore careers in healthcare, construction, ag, automotive, manufacturing, engineering, power sports, transportation, or technology. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with more areas of smoke and haze and an afternoon high of around 86. Tonight, mostly clear skies and a low around 60. Tomorrow, we'll see a chance for showers and storms, especially in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies and a high of around 86. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
On the block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. I'm Austin. I'm here in the studio in Lincoln. Strick getting ready for Huskers and Colorado in Boulder. Getting ready to party, right? Get a good night of sleep tonight. Head out to Blur nice and early, Strick. But then save some energy for Sunday as well. First full day of NFL action. The big matchup on Sunday that stands out to me, at least in the early window, might be an under-the-radar one. I mean, I think a lot of people would say Niners and Steelers, and that's going to be fun. But Panthers and Falcons, a big divisional game right out of the gate. Young teams trying to ascend, don't really know what they are, but that kind of regional rivalry, that honestly might be the game I'm watching.
Well, all eyes are going to be on the quarterbacks, obviously. Bryce Young, his errors starting there, as well as Desmond Riddler. So two young quarterbacks. It is a matchup. The division in itself is horrible, but let's see what they're going to do. I mean, they're throwing them under the fire and they're under the lamp and the lights of the NFL season now starting. It's real. It's not any fake, and it's not play. It's not exhibition. It is real. It's starting. It's about to happen, and now we're going to see how it's going to pop off. Frank Reich obviously has taken over. He's trying. That's your guy. He's trying to build it up, and I think, it just depends. We're hoping that the weight of the moment doesn't overwhelm the young quarterback, especially Bryce. I mean, Desmond now has been under the fire. Those Atlanta Falcon teams have been very terrible, but at the same, they've been so terrible. But again, Riddler's taken over. Marcus Mariota was a bad experiment, and I don't think he'll probably ever be a starting quarterback again. We got to see him on that the Netflix show as well, the quarterbacks with Mahomes and I think Cousins. But yeah, I mean, the defense has been rebuilt, it's been retooled. They spent over $140 million in free agency to try to rebuild the defense, to try to make it happen and make it work. I mean, they were 27th in yards given up, 23rd in points allowed. So they just were a bad team. So they went out there and put money on it, and let's see what happens when they get back.
Packers Bears in the afternoon should be fun.
Real quick.
Yeah.
One other thing to watch though. The Atlanta Falcons, and this could be a good help to Desmond Riddler, is the fact that Bijan Robinson and Cordell Patterson, it's a double-headed monster there in the backfield. That's going to be pretty helpful for him if they can get the offensive line can start moving and get the things going for them. It can help Desmond Riddler out tremendously.
For sure. Oh, yeah. Arthur Smith, I think, is a good coach who can use a lot of those weapons in a lot of interesting ways. Afternoon slate has a couple interesting games: Green Bay, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, Cowboys, Giants. But I don't know if there's a bigger game in the NFL this week, Strick, than Monday Night Football. It's a divisional matchup between the Bills and the Jets, Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers. That's a big game to have in week one. You get it in the Meadowlands at the home of the Jets. Huge week one matchup that might have a say in determining the AFC East at the end of the year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, in 2022, Allen, he was the guy. He was the guy that led all quarterbacks through for more air yards than any other quarterback with 2,691. However, let's talk about it. The defense of the Jets, though, they've been consistent in keeping teams in front of them and not allowing the big plays. They only gave up 1,766 air yards, which is fourth best in the league. See, those are the type of things that we don't talk about on the Jets. It's something that we know, but it's stuff that we don't talk about. And this is now why I think they went out and secured Aaron Rodgers, Aaron, because of the fact that they wanted that offense that was kind of just sputtering at times. The defense would keep them in games, give them an opportunity. They would win games, but the offense was sputter. And this is why I think they went out and got Aaron. And now this is going to be a showcase. It's a big game this early in the season to have those two match up. And we'll see how and what the outcome is going to be on Monday.
Monday Night Football, big one to kick the new season of Monday Night Football off. I'm Austin Norman.
Whoa! Pause.
Pause. Okay.
Pause. Man, you got to talk about that Giants and Cowboys matchup. You don't think that's a good one? You don't like it? You don't like it? That division rival to jump off the first game? No?
It's a good one. It's a big one. I get it. I'm just less sold on Dallas than everyone else. And Darren Waller is out for the Giants. That just came out today. So that one, it's interesting. I understand the stakes, but I mean, I'll have it on in the background. I just won't be watching as much as I will Monday night.
No doubt about it. No doubt.
That's a good look at the NFL slate for this weekend. I'm Austin back in Lincoln. Strick's wearing red out in Boulder, which only Eric Strickland can get away with. Nobody messes with Stricky. He's repping the Huskers. And we're talking Nebraska-Colorado. That's how we lead off hour number 2. Give us your game plan for the Huskers. Give us your predictions. Strick and I will talk through the matchup, the key players, what you need to know one last time before we give our predictions. And then about halfway home through the hour, we'll bring in Andrew Alex of 24/7 Sports to chat as well. More on the block comes your way in just a sec.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. I'm Matt Knipe with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand that no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Career Days will provide you with a hands-on experience as you learn alongside SCC faculty and students and industry partners. Explore careers in healthcare, construction, ag, automotive, manufacturing, engineering, power sports, transportation, or technology. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
General contractors, business owners, are doing business with the right people. And the right people when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation,
and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. He's going to go out of here. That's the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of the show on a Friday. This is our pregame segment, Huskers and Colorado. That's what we're diving into for the next 20 minutes or so. I'm Austin Norman. He is Eric Strickland. And Strick, the starter him in text line, Augie specifically says, Augie thinks you should be wandering the town in a red sequin suit and a matching top hat. Would you pull that off?
Oh, man, listen, only one that could probably pull that off, and that's being honest, is probably Craig Sager. Craig Sager in a red
Right.
sequence, because the only one that could probably pull that off. Stricky is my style is cool, but it ain't that cool.
You're suave.
I'm suave, yeah, low-key suave, right. That would be
Man,
funny. Boy, if y'all come, just imagine what Jay Foreman would just imagine what Jay Foreman would do, bro. If he saw me in that sequence walking around town like that, he would
have words and actions for you.
I would never be able to live it down. That's for sure. It would be the clown of the town for the, especially in the new move, us moving to our new location. Shout out to DP 93.7 The Ticket. The new location is looking beautiful. It's coming alive really soon. We're hoping to have it ready and up and running by at least, I'm hoping by the second home game or by Michigan. I definitely would hope by Michigan. And man, it was so beautiful, wasn't it, man? Wasn't it a dope vibe in there?
Man, it's coming along. It's right there. It's about time. I'm ready for it. You're ready for it. I think the whole crew's ready for it.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. These Huskers, man, I'm really hoping that they can put on a good show this game. I really am. I'm wishing for the best, and I'm not even approaching this game, Austin, with a mindset of what if and when is it coming, or when is the next situation going to happen that's not going to be for our benefit or to our good. I'm hoping actually for. Here's what I would say: if I was Matt Rule and the crew, man, play some of those. I know it was kind of a short week, but maybe on their off day, you guys, because look, you got in here, it was tough. Let's come in here and feed our minds. Show them what it was like in the rivalry. Like I would have played, I would have put clips together or video and just showed the intensity of this rivalry, so that because kids get lost in because time and you know the history of the programs, but you really don't know. And so it'd be good to, man, just sometimes just remind them what it was like with this rivalry, so that they can kind of approach it with an intensity and a mindset that invokes, Husker power.
And Nebraska's coaching staff hasn't been in that. So I think showing them some of those clips, the best moments, hearing the voices of guys who played in that rivalry would really go a long way for this team. This team, I don't know if the team itself needs an emotional spark, but very clearly the program does. The program needs something to go right. And I don't think it's just turn back to the past all the time for the right answer, but you can definitely tap into it, right? You can use it selectively. And this is one of those weeks I think you have to press that button to get that fire going.
Yeah, exactly. So you feel exactly what I'm saying.
I do. Let's go to the text line here. C. Munden texted this about 20 minutes ago, and I think it's a good spot to start this conversation here, Strick. He says, every radio TV sports analyst forgot Nebraska played a Minnesota team that ranked number 4 in total defense last year. Was Nebraska supposed to score 21-plus points against them on the road in their first game? Maybe we're not as bad as everyone thinks. There's a lot to digest there. I would say, yes, Nebraska did play a good defense, a solid defense in Minnesota. They have that reputation. That much is true. But no matter how good a defense you're playing, outside of like the 85 Bears coming and playing college football against you, 10 points is a really bad output. Even 21, I think, is leaving a lot on the table, even in a game where you only get 9 possessions. Like, let's say Nebraska, cuts out half its turnovers, so an interception and a fumble, whatever. Cut 2 turnovers of the 4 out. Say you put 10 more points on the board, you win that game. I mean, 3 more points, you make Minnesota play it a little differently. Score a touchdown instead of throwing an interception, you're still winning that game. But even 20 points on 9 possessions isn't that good, isn't that great. So I think we knew there were going to be those bumps in the road, but regardless of how good Minnesota's defense was, it shouldn't have been good enough to hold you to only 10 points.
Well, and so that's the thing, right? I'm not going to overlook the fact that Minnesota's defense last year was like 4th. Like they were really good. So I'm not upset with that, especially being a first game. You're dealing with that type of a defense the first game. I understand your point, you know what I mean? But one of the things that we've heard out of Rule, and he's been pretty candid about it, is that the defense has been playing better than the offense, or the defense has been winning the offense. And so he's been working with Satterfield and hoping to try to get that ramped up a little bit. So it played out as it's been playing out. And we always talk about this. We talk about, you hear the stories of Allen Iverson saying practice. No, you practice how you're going to play, and you play you perform due to what you do in practice. And if you're showing like that, those type of issues and problems and mistakes in practice, you can pretty much maybe assume that you hope for the best in the better part of that outcome. But ultimately, it played out as it's been talked about. Let me just say that, not talked out, but talked about. And Rule's been talking about that.
It did, and it has to be better. It just has to be better, especially with the week to prepare. And you mentioned Strick too. You have a couple extra days to prep. You played on Thursday. You get a couple extra days to sit, to chew on it, to figure out what you want to do. And we've mentioned this all week, but it bears repeating. From this vantage point, from this perspective, it seems like Nebraska's best game plan is to run the ball, to limit the number of possessions. But if you're going to limit the number of possessions, you have to be efficient on them. You can't only score on 2 out of 9 drives, because then if you slow the game down and Colorado scores on 6 of 9, but you only score on 2 of 9, that's a blowout. That's a big game Colorado's way. So I think typically better teams that execute consistently are the ones like Virginia in basketball, that everything they do is so crisp, it's so precise. They're trusted to be in the right spot at the right time. Villanova and late Jay Wright, to use, basketball examples.
You can even say Creighton in a similar way. Unfortunately came up short just because they were right there. Like you just said, right there, right place, right time, great defense, a lot of good things. One mistake. But you're right, man. It makes a difference.
What scares me, though, is that I don't think we can trust this Nebraska offense to execute that consistently, right? So if you're not going to execute consistently, that would tell me that I want more possessions. I want more chances to put the ball in the end zone, but the better teams also go fast because they know what to do. They don't have to think about it. They have athletes, they have playmakers. And that's where, even if we know what the formula should be, trusting the players on offense to execute that game plan over a certain number of possessions, we haven't seen them execute a game plan that consistently before, and that scares me.
It's been a while. I mean, it seems to always be something, and like you can speak to this part of it. It's been the false starts. I mean, you're on the freaking inch line and you false start. Like, that stuff just can't happen. It just can't happen.
It can't, because that took 7 points off the board. Maybe Gabe Ervin got in anyways. It shouldn't have mattered, but it shouldn't have mattered that they called him down, right? You're an inch away. Hike the ball, have Jeff Sims reach his arms out real quick, pull it back in. There, your points are on the board. It shouldn't matter. You got to find a way to put points on the board. Offensively, a lot of Gabe Ervin, some Ramir Johnson, timely throws from Jeff Sims, not to wide receivers, but I think Nebraska's tight ends have mismatches on Colorado's linebackers. They can post up. They can go, to our show title. They can go on the block. with these linebackers because they're bigger and they're stronger. But Marcus Satterfield has to be ready to stick with it, right? To be able to give his guys that consistency, to feed them that message of, hey, maybe it didn't work this drive, but here's what we saw from above. Here are the holes, the creases. We just need to, clean up a detail or two here or there. Change your eyes from looking right to looking left. There's your opening. Because the pathways are there. Colorado gave up 260 plus rushing yards to TCU. Colorado gave up 42 points. This team is rated in the top 25. It's not a juggernaut yet. It just had a better week one than Nebraska did. It's not an unbeatable team, but it's a confident team.
What do I say? You said everything you said everything that I would want to say. It really is that. It comes down to that. It comes down to minimal little adjustments that they need to make. And if they can do that, I think the defenses can hold up for a while. Again, they're going to have to just be mindful of not getting caught with a compounding night or a compounding day of big plays. They just can't let big plays compound. Like they can't, everything has got to be on point. They've got to be focused throughout this whole game. They can't have any lapses and any mistakes, and your cues have got to be all on point, and don't get caught on double moves, because I'm telling you, they're going to try you, and how you handle those situations is going to determine how close this game could be, or how Nebraska can either pull it out. They're going to have to take care of the ball. We know that. They're going to have success running the ball. We know that. They're going to have to gang tackle and stretch plays out, not allowing like I said, a multitude of big plays. And I think they have to have turnovers themselves. They have to create turnovers. They have to be like Iowa. I think the Iowa model on the defensive side of things is really like, they've got to look to like just say, hey, we've got to shorten fields. We've got to make plays. We got to steal. We got to create fumbles. We got to do something to make sure that we give our offense a big chance. If the offense is having to go 80 yards, 75 yards, I think that's where they're going to struggle. I just don't think they have that capacity, unless the running game is working, to continuously move the ball.
We haven't seen it yet, but Strick, this is, I think, a good opportunity for Nebraska to really lean into being a Big Ten team, right? I know fans, some still aren't happy with the move to the Big Ten, never should have left the Big 12. Colorado's headed back to the Big 12. And let's not forget, Nebraska and Colorado left the Big 12 at the same time. Nebraska hasn't established that Big Ten identity, but you hope over the last, dozen years or so, Nebraska's learned some lessons, and maybe they finally pay off in Boulder. Maybe they finally lean into that Big Ten identity of, even if the offensive line isn't the biggest strength, it's better than Colorado's defensive line. It can get to that second level and spring enough holes and openings and creases for running backs over the course of 4 quarters that it leads to a win at the end. Nebraska hasn't ever leaned into being a Big Ten team. This is a huge opportunity for Nebraska to say, okay, we know what we are. We know what we need to be. Let's just go do it, right? Let's just put our foot down, say enough's enough, and go get it done. We haven't seen it yet, but there's at least an opportunity for it.
Well, I think it definitely has to be very run dominated, and it has to be a shortened chain day. If you understand what I mean by that. A shortened chain day means they need to be ahead of the chains, not behind. They need to be 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s. If they get into 3rd 8, 3rd 7s, and you got to test those cornerbacks, man, I don't like that. Then if you're going to do that, if you're going to test the defensive backs, or you're going to test the secondary, you got to do it with Travis Kelce mindset. You got to do it with the tight ends, and that's the way I would view it. I'm really hoping that Satterfield, makes the adjustments and earns his keep, because he's got to do that, because this team is going to be very stagnant if he doesn't. I think Coach White, Tony White on the other side, is doing a tremendous job thus far, but we'll see if that continues. I like the rotations that he's having. Obviously, you're not going to have Ty Robinson for a half. So what adjustments is he going to make to try to fill that void? Because they're going to run the ball too. So you definitely want to have all your pieces in play, and you just don't want to get blown out in this first half. You don't want to have to put yourself behind to where Jeff Sims is going to have to air it out in order to get you back in the game.
Brad on the text line, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You're a pessimist, you're a cynic, and I get it, right? That's what that program has showed us, that they're not able to do it, that they're not able to come through, that what happened at Minnesota is the norm. That's just all this program does. On the flip side, C. Munden, who got this conversation started, he's saying 23-21 at Nebraska with controlling the time of possession, sustainable running, play action-based drives. Let me just say this, Rick. I think this has been really the theme of the week, and it's important to say here as we get ready to give our predictions. Nebraska isn't as bad as it showed. Colorado isn't as good as it showed. It's 1 week. There's no reason to overreact. It's hard because, again, we're so emotionally attached to Nebraska in this state. It feels like everything, but when Nebraska's going through, plenty of other programs have gone through. To different magnitudes, but similar circumstances. We're not alone. It's happened before. The tide will change. Separate, if you can, the emotion from the facts, what we saw, right? I'm not saying Nebraska is going to win. I'm not saying Colorado is going to win. There are paths, there are opportunities for both teams to win this game. Neither team is perfect. Neither team is top 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 25 for Colorado worthy. These are just two okay football teams with questions. Every college football team has questions to answer. None of them are going to be answered after a week. None of them will be answered after only 2 weeks, right? It's a 12-week season. Well, 13, I guess, if you consider the bye week as well. There's a long time to go, but the sense of urgency is important. So Nebraska has to get things turned around. Colorado has to keep building on its momentum to get up from its doldrums under Dion. All that being said, what's your prediction for Nebraska and Colorado tomorrow morning?
Well, there's two things. I think ultimately you've stated this very well. I also say that this is a mental test game. Okay. You've got altitude. Some of those players have never been up here and dealt with that altitude that they're going to face. You've also got on both sides mental challenges. Mental challenges for Nebraska is, are we going to do this again? Are we going to be in a game and cause ourselves to fall? They've got to overcome that mental challenge, right? Then on the other side, the coaches of Colorado have to make sure that their team handles the mental challenge of starting to sniff and smell yourself too early. As you just said, one game. This isn't, so they have to try to mitigate that and keep them on an even keel of getting the job. So we're going to see tomorrow which one of those facets are going to handle the mental aspect of this game better, who's going to make adjustments, and who's going to handle any adversity that may come up in the mental side of things. So my prediction, I'm going to stick with what I said. I said on WTF with Cluster, I said I believe that Nebraska is going to win this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think they cover, and I'm going to say they win by 3. I think I'm hoping it's a low-scoring game, because if it's a shootout, we don't win. So in a game, I'm going to say 21-17.
I think that's about the neighborhood Nebraska's shooting for. I think optimistically, something like 27-24 would be a big step in the right direction. 21 doesn't feel like enough to get it done unless the defense really steps up, creates those turnovers. I'll say 24-20 Nebraska. I'll kind of split the difference between the high and the low ends of what I think will get it done. And the reasons for that, as we have a text come in, why don't I think Nebraska is as bad as it showed? Because it ran the ball really well on a solid run defense, because they didn't stick with it. And I think they identify that, because they have another week to work with Jeff Sims, who I think they'll ask less of, because I trust Tony White, the defensive coordinator, and his schemes. That's why I don't think Nebraska is as bad as it showed. Maybe it's wishful thinking. Maybe it's too optimistic. I guess we'll see tomorrow.
We're going to see.
Yeah.
Early game too. We going to see.
And we will know. We will know right after lunchtime just what Nebraska and Colorado are after week 2. He's Strick in Boulder. I'm Austin in Lincoln. We'll head out to the East Coast, talk some ACC football with our guy out there in the Virginia Tech realm of things. Andrew Alex, 24/7 Sports, joins us after this.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben sandwich or the prime rib French dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate and barbecue needs. Enjoy all natural, fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breast for just $1.99 per pound. USDA choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.99 per pound. And hickory smoked bacon for just $3.99 per 16-ounce package. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the block, Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you. We go to our VIP line brought to you by Allo Fiber, where we understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Welcome in a familiar voice, one we haven't heard in a while. Andrew Alex, 24/7 Sports, joins us. Andrew, long time no chat, man. What's up? How you been?
What up, boys? How we doing?
Man, it's just good to have football back. It's that time of year. And we're going to throw it out to you. We've talked a lot of Big Ten, some Big 12, but ACC had some interesting football going on last week. Let's start with your Hokies. What are you seeing from them? Big one with Purdue this week.
Yeah, guys. I mean, it's definitely, again, kind of still a period of transition for the Virginia Tech football program. I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know if you guys read it. ESPN posted kind of a big, almost long-form expose on what's gone wrong for Virginia Tech football over the course of the last 10 years in post-Frank Beamer era, and there's a myriad of issues. But all Brett Pratt can do is try to recruit, rebuild his team. And, when you look at last year's team, the offense was anemic. It just didn't move. It was like, watching molasses or something like that. This year, made a little bit of an adjustment using the transfer portal to your advantage. They go get Ollie Jennings, who was from Old Dominion, one of the ranked receivers in the transfer portal, former four-star recruit out of Richmond. Jalen Lane, Daquan Felton, they had some development on the inside as well. What we saw from Virginia Tech in their opening game against Old Dominion was, they scored 30 points for the first time in 14 games. It wasn't like watching Iowa football, which I know that everyone in Nebraska, the less Iowa-type football you can watch, the better. So there's still some issues. Obviously, had problems running the ball. Obviously, had problems stopping the run. Now, against Purdue this week, again, you have another program in transition, first year, new coach, a lot of talent from last year's, Big Ten and West champion squad out the door, whole new offensive system. Vegas likes the Hokies. Vegas handicapped as a 3-point favorite. I see the forecast. I see maybe a little bit of rain coming. Purdue's probably more equipped to run the ball than Virginia Tech is, more equipped to succeed in a game like that. So I like Purdue close, but I still think it's a really solid opportunity for Virginia Tech to get a conference Power 5 win at home for the first time since 2009.
Don't say
Virginia Tech beat Nebraska.
Oh, you had to go there.
I did. Sorry.
Now, facts are facts. We get it. They are what they are. Nebraska had its chances in that one. But, hey, week one, Virginia Tech gets the win. Virginia gets absolutely pasted by Tennessee. Did you watch any of that game? What do you make of either the Vols or the Cavs?
Yeah, UVA, I try to keep my own personal bias on this, but they're having a really tough time over there. I mean, they're rolling out a Monmouth transfer, FCS Monmouth, New Jersey, for those of you who aren't familiar, who had very limited experience. That's going to be their starting guy. Obviously, a program that has the very, very tragic shadow of the issues that happened last year, and I don't think they're totally equipped to recover. Quite frankly, I actually thought Tennessee would beat them worse than they actually ended up doing. So I guess maybe that's a small win for UVA, but in my eyes, that's the worst team in the ACC. That's what I really just a small handful of games I look at on Virginia Tech's schedule and mark that as, that should definitively be a win. A whole lot of toss-up games in the ACC teams that evenly matched. I think we're on the wrong side. So, not looking good for Tony Elliott in year two. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but with the talent that they have on their roster right now, it's just been a mass exodus both when Elliott arrives and then between year one and year two. So, tough times there. They're playing JMU this week. I would expect JMU to win that game I think it's a 6.5-point spread in favor of JMU. And I think they'll probably cover that.
Oof. Hey, Andrew, how are you, man? It's good to see you or hear you. But listen, the ACC has kind of been turned upside down a little bit. Clemson had dominated for quite some time. Now we see some reemergence of some old school leaders as like Florida State are starting. Who do you see as the top three right now in the ACC, and who do you see as like a couple of the underdogs who can kind of surprise somebody and throw maybe some wrinkles into the plans of the ACC conference?
Yeah. Well, I mean, starting off definitively, your number one is going to be Florida State, and the media saw it in that game against LSU, a 45-24 whopping. Times have been tough at Florida State, really over the course of the last 5 years. But Mike Norvell's done a good job of doing what his predecessor and Willie Taggart could not, and that is recruit, retain, and build along an offensive line. It was crazy a few years ago seeing how bad on the offensive line you can be. Now, they've gotten their offensive lineman. They had a quarterback in Jordan Travis who is experienced, and in my eyes and the eyes of even some NFL scouts, a very talented guy who is now in his 6th season playing college football. He started as a freshman at Louisville in 2018 with an injury year, a redshirt year, and the COVID year. He is still playing at Florida State here today. So I think that guy has a chance to be possibly the best quarterback in the ACC, and we saw that with the 4-touchdown, 342-yard performance against LSU. They're the team to beat. Now, beyond that, North Carolina, I think, is who I'm going to put as my number 2 right now. And that comes down to the quarterback, right? Drake May is a name that doesn't matter if you live in California, Nebraska, or North Carolina itself, you're going to be hearing that name because that's a name that's being muttered by NFL scouts left and right. You see teams like the Arizona Cardinals pancake. Yeah, it's because they want an arm talent like that. From my area, Huntersville, North Carolina, with the weapons that they have on the outside, I think he's poised for, in his 2nd year as a starter, to possibly even take a step up from what we saw with him last year. And that was a 38 touchdown to 7 interception season. Obviously, that's going to get you on the top of some draft boards. But what the real kicker for me is looking at North Carolina's defense. They actually look like they could be a formidable group this year. And that's not something we've seen out of North Carolina with basically in the Mac Brown era, whether it was Sam Howell starting quarterback or now Drake May. It was a team that was always capable of getting you above 30, maybe even 40 points. But, you're losing games 45-42, right? Mm-hmm. A solid defense there could make this team extremely dangerous. And I like what they're seeing. And some of these 4, even 5-star guys that they recruited earlier on in their careers are kind of starting to realize that potential that a lot of North Carolina fans, basketball school, maybe expect that to matriculate right away. It hasn't. But, with time and development, it looks like that's a team that, has a very good chance of making it to Charlotte and, finishing their regular season where they began, where they beat South Carolina here, just a week ago on Saturday. Now, lastly, I'm still going to say Clemson just because of the talent, right? I mean, I know they lost, but you have a 5-star quarterback in Cade Klubnik. You have 5 stars all across the defense. You have 5 stars on the offensive line. That's not something that most other ACC teams can say that they have, right? They shot themselves in the foot a lot. The offense still looked like it was going to be a problem. They got the offense coordinator from TCU last year, so they're implementing a little bit of a new system. That's not something that Clemson traditionally does. They hire from within. Now, Clemson's long-term prospects of the football program, they're not going to be where they were with Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. It's Dabo Swinney's unwilling to embrace the transfer portal. But this year, right now today, assuming that he can keep these top recruits engaged, it'd be foolish not to say they're one of the top 3 teams in the ACC. Beyond that, you guys watch football on Monday. Duke is no joke, and it's crazy what Mike Elko has been able to do there, given the roster that they had when they started, and given obviously Duke's limitations as a football program. But one thing that Duke has been able to do, embrace the transfer portal while having there not be a ton of attrition from the inside. So they've been able to develop the guys that they have in-house and then build from there. So we saw it. We basically kind of reached a pinnacle for Duke football. I don't know if I told you guys this. My dad is a Duke alum. He texted me in the morning on a Tuesday saying, this is really the first time since I was in school in the 80s that everyone in the country is waking up and the talk is Duke football. So I respect that. Mm-hmm. And I think that they're a team that, they have a very difficult schedule with the new ACC scheduling model. They kind of just got absolutely hosed. They had to play Clemson. You still got to play Florida State. You're going to have to play North Carolina. They got to match up with Notre Dame there as well. So, the record might not show it, but I think that's a team that, as we saw on Monday, can go out and beat anyone. And, I won't speak too much on it, but I like Louisville as well. I think Louisville is a dangerous football team. NC State with Brennan Armstrong, it's a team that's been good in the past. So there's good programs on the top end of the ACC. There's a lot of mediocrity in the middle and bad at the end. But, the teams I listed, I think could go toe-to-toe with, maybe not like the top of the Big Ten, but I give them a good shot against pretty much anyone else. And I'd give Florida State a shot against Michigan. Why not?
Yeah, I want to get back to a team you didn't mention in just a sec. But something I asked at the beginning of the week was watching that Duke-Clemson game, following along on Twitter, seems like there was a lot of disdain for Dabo Swinney. Obviously, people don't like rooting for Duke because it's Duke, and I get that as the Duke basketball fan. I'm totally used to that. But the fact that people were so openly rooting against Dabo Swinney and Clemson, I didn't get that hate. What makes Dabo someone, that's a target of some of that vitriol down in ACC country?
I just think it's I think people just think it's kind of weird. And, when they asked him a serious question about NIL, and he says this program was built on NIL and it was built in God's name, image, and likeness, I don't think that people need to be necessarily anti-religious to be like, this guy's kind of fake, this guy's kind of a clown. And also, there's been clear signs that he's been doing some shady stuff, maybe in the pre-NIL era in terms of acquiring recruits and stuff like that. So I think that, it's funny because the Clemson fans just can't fathom why people don't like Dabo Swinney. I wouldn't say I'm too far on that end of the spectrum. I think that you have to kind of be a clown. You have to be a little bit weird and unique or have something going for you in that regard in order to build a football program. But, I think that it's not his looks, it's his personality, if you know. I think rubs people the wrong way. And, once you get a long enough period, which we've had in the ACC, and one team really just dominating for the most part. They've won 6 of the last 7 ACC championships. I'm just making that number off the top of my head. Sounds about right. But I think that teams are ready for a new dog to step in, and when you're at the top of the mountaintop, I think people like to watch you fit. And, I think the ACC country definitely got behind the Blue Devils, or the country got behind the Blue Devils in general. And as a Duke basketball fan myself, Austin, it's not something you see every day, but Duke football and Duke basketball are viewed in the eyes of the general public with very, very, very different lenses, aren't they?
They sure are. We're talking with Andrew Alex on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Andrew, one of the teams you didn't mention has one of the more fascinating games of the weekend out of the ACC. It was a snooze fest 17-9 game last year between Texas A&M and Miami, but the Hurricanes get the Aggies at home in Coral Gables. What would a win over A&M do for Miami? Do you give them a chance to pull it out?
I want to give them a chance, right? Tyler Van Dyke's been there for a while, and I think that he is a formidable quarterback. I have respect for Mario Cristobal and what he's done in the past. And with Mario Cristobal, right? Think about this, Strick and Austin. Miami's never won the ACC championship since they joined 16 years ago. This program is solely built off the hype of the Sean Taylor, Ray Lewis years, combined with location and just general prestige that comes with it, right? It's cool. The kids want to go down and they want to play with Miami, but they have such deep-seated cultural issues. It shows on the field in terms of discipline, and it shows in their record year to year how they're never able to be consistent despite the talent they have and despite the fact they're still sending a bunch of players to the NFL. Texas A&M, on the other hand, I would want to know a little bit more about where they're at, but what I can tell you is that last year that was a team that was probably the biggest disappointment in college football. Miami would have been up there with them, actually. But, they did lose a lot from their, number one overall in the country class. But I like who they have, and Connor Wegman at quarterback. I'd still take the Aggies. I'd still certainly take the Aggies. But I'm going to continuously doubt Miami until they can string a couple together. And despite the talent on their roster, I'll always assume that it's the culture and the way that operation is run that is so broken that they're always destined to underachieve. A win against Texas A&M would be a signature win for Mario Cristobal and a signal to the ACC and nationally that this isn't the same old Miami. We're running things differently, and he has a different personality than some of the other people that have come in. He's certainly more well-equipped in terms of resume than some of the guys that they have in the past. So if anyone can do it, he can. But I'm going to take the Aggies in this one. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think Miami can hang in there, but home field advantage doesn't do much for them. So I think that Texas A&M pulls this one out close.
All right, Andrew, to wrap it up, I want to go kind of big picture here. The big story of the summer was conference realignment. The ACC had its own drama with the group of 4 schools that wanted to leave. Florida State definitely at the forefront of that. They come through it the other side altogether for now. They add Cal, Stanford, and SMU to the conference beginning in the 24-25 year. What do you make of how Commissioner Jim Phillips, the ACC, and certain schools handled the realignment drama and everything that came with it over the summer?
You know, Austin, in any facet of life, right, it does benefit you as a person, as a business, as an organization. You always want to be proactive rather than reactive. You want to put fires out before they start and your house is burning down, rather than having to call the fire department and, grab a hose once the house is already up in flames. The ACC is the most reactive organization that I've literally ever seen. They had to wait for not only the Big Ten to go in, well, for, obviously the dominoes fall as they may, right? The first thing that happens is Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. The Big Ten responds. The Big Ten then responds again. The Pac-12 is now folding. And then rather than doing anything at first, and maybe getting some of these programs that would be a little more, let's just call it what it is, profitable and make more business sense for them to be brought in, the ACC, sat on their hands, stuck with what they have, and then at the end, they're like, we just got to make a move because everyone else is making a move, right? So you end up with the slim pickings. The team in Southern Methodist, which I know is a Dallas guy, and he's probably rubbed shoulders with some Southern Methodist people. Decent football culture. They're actually basically not going to take any money from the ACC for 10 years. So I don't know. That might be kind of cool insofar as just from a fan perspective and going on road trips. But Cal and Stanford, academically great to have, but not a whole lot of pull in terms of national appeal. So once again, the ACC made a move that they kind of had to make. But imagine the possibility of bringing in, a Colorado or something like that. Arizona State, these huge, big public schools. Those are the ones that you want, right? Mm-hmm. Schools, but no, let the Big 12 go and snag those guys up first. It makes more sense. But again, the ACC was the last guy to act, and they had an overall long, big picture. I think, unfortunately, unless there can be some kind of seismic change, the conference is probably toast. Once basically Clemson and Florida State can figure out how to get out of it, the ACC, I think that Virginia Tech might be fine. Virginia Tech's probably a big enough school and a big enough program in Virginia, right there on the East Coast. There's a lot of television eyes that could be attracted by a team like Virginia Tech, but ultimately, the direction that we're probably going into is a college football super league anyway. All these conferences in 20 years might not exist anymore. But I give the ACC a solid 10 more years. And kudos to ACC leadership for screwing it up once again.
That they did. They snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Good job, ACC. Andrew Alex with us out there in ACC country. Andrew, appreciate all the insight. Look forward to having you on, hopefully, a couple more times throughout football season if the ACC stays interesting.
I hope it does. So, yeah, guys, I always appreciate the opportunity to come on and chat with you. It's a pleasure as always. Now I'm going to get in my car, drive up to Blacksburg, Virginia, and by noon tomorrow, I'll be in Lane Stadium for Virginia Tech Purdue. So exciting weekend. Good luck against Coach Prime in Colorado. Hoping the Huskers can change the national storyline there a little bit.
And let's both beat teams wearing black and gold. How's that sound?
Amen to that, brother.
There you go. Andrew Alex with us on the Allo Fiber VIP line, where we understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. Nick and Jay, maybe DP and Jay, standing by out in Boulder. They'll be on for Old School here in just a little bit. If they're ready, we'll cross it over. If not, Strick and I will wrap up on the block after this.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Half. This week's specials through September 12th are $2 off grass-finished flat iron steaks. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, Big news! They have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate and barbecue needs. Enjoy all-natural, fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breast for just $1.99 per pound. USDA choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.99 per pound, and hickory smoked bacon for just $3.99 per 16-ounce package. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies with more areas of smoke and haze and an afternoon high of around 86. Tonight, mostly clear skies and a low around 60. And tomorrow, we'll see a chance for showers and storms, especially in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies and a high of around 86. The meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KMTK FM first, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up On the Block here on a Friday. Counting down the hours to kick off between Nebraska and Colorado. Strick's out in Boulder. If you're stopping by the Blur tailgate, say hi to him and the rest of the 93.7 The Ticket crew. Nick JDP out there. I think Jake and some other people are en route, so they will be out there by then. Rico Bach and I will be back here in studio for pregame and postgame coverage here from Lincoln. Again, let us know your predictions for Nebraska-Colorado. Give us your scores. Strick, you said, what, 2017, 21-17? Okay, and I said 24-21, I think, was my ultimate prediction there for that. To wrap up the show, Strick, let's go out to the FIBA World Cup. The Americans were playing for a spot in the gold medal game. They were taking on Germany, and it's Germany that pulls out the win, 113-111. Germany led by as much as 12, so pretty tight game back and forth. Yet again, it was defense and rebounding. I mean, giving up 113 points in 40 minutes is a good way to lose. You give up 25 of those points on second chances. Second straight time the U.S. won't win gold at the FIBA World Cup. Slightly disappointing, majorly disappointing, whatever. Where does it fall?
I mean, that's the NBA model. The NBA model, once they shifted from the defensive models and wanting to, physicality, defense, that's European basketball. And so you're going to, at some instances, get outworked in that department and come up short sometimes.
It's disappointing because I think, basketball being America's game, where it started, as much talent as there is, America should be expected to win. But the Americans really haven't poured all that much into winning the World Cup. It's all gone into the Olympics. So while it's still, I think, disappointing because you wanted to win, I don't think this is all that crushing. Like, it's kind of like the Chiefs lost to the Lions, right? There's stuff that matters more out there. I don't know if you poured everything, had everything you needed available. So I think you just shake it off, you move on, don't you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we just got to have guys that want to take the challenge, and I don't think we do.
Right. There will be a bronze medal game. Germany and Serbia playing for the gold medal, but it's the U.S. versus Canada for the bronze medal. This is a game, Strick, I don't, want to write off American motivation in this one. But I think Canada being on the upswing like it was, losing how it did to Serbia, lots of motivated NBA talent really trying to prove itself as a player on the international stage. This is one of those games that doesn't really matter for both teams, but I think Canada's going to want to send a message home.
Absolutely. That's what it's going to come down to. And, once it's kind of like an AAU tournament. Once you come out of that championship bracket, some guys just kind of are ready to go home and it's wrapped.
We'll see if the Americans shut it down or not. Obviously, we're rooting for the USA over Canada. We'll see how it goes. That'll do it for On the Block here on a Friday. Big thanks to Andrew Alex for joining us on our Allo VIP line. If you missed any of the show, we ran you through the college football and NFL weekend. Go out and check out the podcast. That'll be up in just a little bit for you. Stay tuned. We've got Old School coming your way. Don't know if it's DP or Nick with Jay, but they'll do that. Strick, enjoy the rest of your time in Boulder.
We'll have a good one. Hopefully the Huskers will perform. We'll see.
That we will. 11 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. Pregame coverage starts at 8 here on 93.7 The Ticket. He's Eric Strickland wearing red out in Boulder. Stop by Blur Tailgate. Say hi to him and the rest of the 93.7 The Ticket crew. If you're in Lincoln with me, stop by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Really appreciate them and all they do for us here at The Ticket, the community, and On the Block sponsoring our show. It's been fun. Old School comes your way in just a sec here on 93.7 The Ticket. For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77 and Pioneers.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415. Or online at Ambition